what's up? Today we have the short version of the last video, which is the unknown video, which is supposed to be the tier list of the Cold War guns. Today we're going to be getting into another video and doing all of the guns in the game and just saying them. Let's get into that first gun. So I do have to restart this thing again, which I'm kind of angry, but I'm not saying it. So let's actually straight up do this. I'm going to be done with a lot of difficulty, so hopefully I'm also going to probably have stuff in the background, so let's go. That's what I'm going to pick. It's going to actually create lag a little bit, guys, so let's get into this video and let's do it. I'm not going to be able to show you here, because I really don't want to show you a couple of shit moves things up. Okay, so as I said, I'm really sorry, out of the variants, I won't be able to pick the variant of the gun itself, since I do have to do this, the quick version of it. Wait, I actually can do the quick version of the XM. Can I? So, as I said, I won't be doing the variants of it, I'll just be doing it by attachments. The variants are not really big deals, they're just by attachments basically. But I believe I do have this in the other one. And alright, never mind, I don't actually have in this one. So let's use the regular XM4. As a gun, I would personally say the XM4 is a gun I would go. I don't like it, but as I said, I would say I would go with sweat mode on this gun for multiple reasons. If you do ask me why would I personally go sweat mode on this thing, it's kind of hard to say really why I would go sweat mode on a gun like this thing. I just purely go sweat mode because I never really was a fan. I was kind of a fan of the gun itself, so we're just gonna put that right here. It's really smart. It's really hard making things this small because it's just to the length of this thing. So if you're trying to do something, you should be really careful using dogs. It's an unreliable thing. I should say you should do tier lists with. Okay, it's dumb. You making no sense, man. Let's not try to get really angry. So yeah, we get go sweat mode on. Look at this. I'll probably be doing this, trying to do this video in clips, and any of these videos I have, so probably not gonna do it, anyway. Okay, next gun we have on the list is the AK-47. It's a gun I can fairly use. I would have to say. I also forgot to tell you what do I actually have it on, I believe. I can show you that in a little bit. Let's just do this AK. I'm not sure what it's going to be. So I would actually put it in the godly, obviously. Okay, let's move it up. I'm trying to move it up, guys, so if you are tentatively saying, oh my god, it's not working, mate. You don't know how hard, you don't know how anybody is working with this thing. I'm actually over this thing 50, so I can actually see it properly. And how small you make these guns are kind of incredible. Okay, so now we got the AK. The reason why I would put it on this list is it's a gun I would say, let's read it, let's down here. So we have SBOA, which is super best of all. Then we have godly OB, or original best good. I go sweat mode. Hey, I would delete best hate, rage or go back. God, that means I'll leave the car and go back. So as I said, what about I would? So that doesn't mean I would necessarily hate it or say it would be the worst weapon. This means that if this means it would be equivalent to a best weapon, but which makes it terrible than a best weapon. Is you get clapped up. There's so many guns that you get clapped with. I see people don't use shotguns in this game as much. Okay, at least you can actually hit like you can and do true savage kills. So I remember when I put this thing out, I would put the Krieg and the SOB because I used it more commonly. I don't know why, I just like the gun in its pair. I feel like no silencers are really neat of this thing, so. I personally use a certain variant of the gun, so I will just tell you that. So yeah, I'm gonna start right here and do the brands for okay. So yeah, based off the rig, I'm gonna have to say it is the SOB weapon I can personally use. I'm gonna want to make this thing kind of short. So we're already through 5 minutes, and we've only did like 2 minutes, I believe. So let's get into our next weapon on our list. It is the Quetz Big. This is another gun I would delete basically. I don't roll up with this thing last time. It's a gun I could use, as I said, but it just really hated to me because of its. Because this thing annoyed me so much, I believe I did put this thing in 8. So let's put this thing in 8. I'm still kind of mad at it still. Don't know why I'm still mad at it, but I just feel like I'm still mad at it. There's a lot of Call of Duty games in this thing. Okay, let's move out, and now, no, it's the coup. Next up, the Fafar 1. This thing is another crappy gun, I would say. But since it's raging me last thing, I actually said I would delete this thing. I don't know why I put so much hate towards this thing, but I put crazy hate on this. I put crazy hate towards this thing, if you do not know. I don't know why, I just personally hate the gun itself. And it just makes me mad, basically. I'll be doing this based off parts, so I want to do like a 15 minutes, so I want to get them down by parts. And next we're on the Groza. It's a gun I'm going to have to say I would put it high on the list. I would personally say it's a gun I could use. I would say it's equivalent to about a good gun. I wouldn't say it's best, because I wouldn't actually say it's like it's a god weapon. As I said, I didn't put all my thinkings, as I said, between best and OB, where I have to be God. I did God. And but still, the Groza is kind of great. It's a good gun, but not the best I could personally use. So let's go on the next gun. The next gun we have is the Ferrara 83. This is an actual gun. And so I think I used this gun from the last video. Come on, let me just do. I'm gonna have to put this thing. I personally use it as a good weapon, but since Alia uses it, it will get an extra point. I don't know why this dumb Groza isn't stepping its ground, Groza. And your facts are anyway. I wonder how big these things are. If you do wonder why is it actually so small, you would have to ask. I'm sorry, I can't put it correctly. So there goes one right there. We haven't really got any OB weapons yet, so we're done with assault rifles. Let's move to the MP. Okay, we got our first OB gun. No, would it be godly? No, I personally put it with the AK as being a godly weapon. This isn't main, but as I said, it would also be between OB because it's a gun I would use personally in its personal abilities, but it's also a gun I never commonly use it as much as the AK. Which I'm not sure why I put the AK lower than a gun that I personally use. Now, this is another gun I could personally use in high range shots. The Malaha. This will be the second gun we have on our list that is a full-on bastard. We're not playing this MP, just don't listen when I say. Pull this thing bigger. If you don't know how hard this is doing, you should try doing it. It's not simple at all. No, I don't know if I'm smallish kind of gun. So we got the Malama right here as the secondary gun right there. Now we got the IK 74 mate. For you. So this thing, in my personal, which raged me, I would put slightly, I would actually go sweat mode on this thing. I know I would put it, I hate, is there even again, I would actually say, I rage or go back at God. There is a gun, there is probably 2 guns I'd say that have this, but I would not tell you what the guns are. When I do this on zombies, I am not gonna have any guns, so let's do this. Next gun, we got the case. Now, as I said, the case isn't the best gun of all. It's I would still have to say it has greatness to it, just can't lack in. Close the gun itself. If you really wondering. The ghost right next, you got the bullfrog. It's another cool looking gun that I could use personally. The reason why I didn't put the KSP in godly was since it was a burst gun, which was its basic disadvantage. The bullfrog, I would also have to say, it's game. It's something I could use purely. But I wouldn't always use the bullfrog, I believe. I would say it's a godly weapon for multiple reasons. I wouldn't say it's a SBOA gun of one reason. The bullfrog stuff just terrible to me. I must have the bulldog, it's not actually loading in for a reason. It's not loading in. It's not being able to put in the bullfrog, so who knows? We're not actually. Why aren't you able to put the image in? Okay, this is what I mean by difficulty, so let's just skip the Mac. The Mac is another gun I could use, but as I said, it would be. I'd have to say the Mac would be a gun weapon. Its recoil, which would be its basic downfall. That's what its downfall basically would be. That's what its basic downfall would be basically with the Mac. I feel like I would have to say in the beginning, most of the guns I would have to start over here, as I said. We are pitching to 12 minutes, so we are going to have 8 more minutes to do this. It might be hard. I'm not sure how people are able to do this thing way shorter. Because it's way simple and it's. So guys, the order for years again, like just on other guns, but okay. What's next? Mac, its fellow brother. You gotta get with him. I feel like I downfall. If you do this, is one thing. Because I probably like it's the internet connection, so, what the heck? It's internet. I'm gonna say it. There's not a lot of it to do it for some reason, so. I don't trust this thing. Well, let's actually do this in this right? Or should do this based off of Google Docs, which I can always address and do. It's not spawning in the map for some reason. I don't personally use any variant, and I don't even think Mac has. And we got it. We got Mac, right? So let's put the Mac right here. So what would I personally wear the Mac 10? As a gun in its personal opinion, it doesn't change. Let's get the next gun. So I already did the Mac 10. Let's do the LC 10. The OC Terran is another gun. I never liked it. I've been checking out the gun probably. As I said, you also do get to. It's got a big neutron and made me rage a lot. So I would have to say rage or go back to cards, and it's one of those guns of like one reason. I would have to say it's a good gun, but since it has enraged me super much, I don't know. I don't know why I use rage. As a sad person, don't rage. I get sad in the form. So basically, I believe this would say the only thing that would actually make me rage. I think I would actually rage from this thing. So get out of here, LC10. I hate you so much. Next is the PPCH 41. It's a godly gun. Like, no way. Nothing could overpower this gun. Like, just get in your place, my guy. Who knows? Who would dare fight you? I feel like how small this gun actually got to be was kind of evil. So also, this is the map right here. Caution. But we do actually got 3, and we do got 4 right here. Well, everything else is not that big because of the gun span of guns. Cold War doesn't have a lot of guns. How we're on to tactical rifles, which we got for a gun. I would be actually saying this on part 2, so don't want to tell you this yet. Next, we got the Type 3, the Type 63. This is actually my hardcore weapon I would use. It's a gun I could use, but as I said, it's not the best of all weapons. This thing sucks in zombies, I believe. It doesn't suck that bad. But it's, I don't know, B. It's the original best. Which one replaces it? There's no fun that really replaces it. Maybe I'm seeing that might replace it, but just nothing else replaces it either. Because to get me real close to the M16, really sorry I would have to put it on the OP because it's the original best. There's no goodness. I would say the AUG is replaced, but not really. But okay, that's what I would have to say. But now because the AUG is the next gun, I would personally say the AUG as a gun would be crazy decent. The AUG I would have to say would be your best gun. I'm really sorry, AUG, but let's put it in there and yeah. As I have to say, I've never really liked this one. So if I guess what it's a gun I personally don't use and I don't like, but it's good. The Bullfrog is another gun I would say I would go SWAT mode on because this has been used more. I started to like it. Maybe I'll attachments on so. Attachments on so. Yes, I'm gonna have to say the drum would be not a good one. So let's talk about the carve. Carve, I would have to put this thing in a gun. I would go SWAT mode, but since I've seen it been used, I would actually put it. I would say last time I said SLB, but I've changed my mind to putting it on God. I'm really sorry. I just don't say I don't believe if someone has someone place, so I'm really sorry, mate. You're gonna be sent here, mate. Hey, we lucky you're on the godly section. Let's be fair, most of the guns right now we picked have been in the godly section. Think about how I used all the guns in the game. No, I have not. I haven't really used any of the new guns yet, so don't want to try to use those. Now we're done with the tactical rifles. Now we're on to LMGs. We first got the stoner, so put that thing in here. Then now the stoner as a gun, it's a great gun. It's just good. On the zombies, I will have on the zombies. I believe it will probably be smaller on the zombie. I believe. So let's put you in. On zombies, I will probably have more. As I said, I will probably try to make it smaller. Because I am gonna have, so it's gonna probably be 11 by 8, 12 by 8. Because I'm gonna have actually more to think about. And I'm probably hopefully gonna need a bit more space in these things because this thing is like I believe a tablet equivalent to a tablet paper. It edits them out, so it's really hard. You also gotta take them on. This is also in a 50 perspective, not like 100 perspective. So it is gonna actually look. Yeah, this thing's not my godly weapon, but this is the godly weapon I would use, the RPD. This gun would have to obviously be, even in multiplayer, it's actually pretty much a godly weapon, pretty much to me. Yeah, I'll see it. Well, yep, I guess.